Welcome back to this video in which I am going to repot this American larch or Tamarack Ladix ladicina. I have already a pretty good idea of the form or the planting angle that I want to use, and the first part of the video will be selecting a pot. Now this tree was collected in 2018 and has developed an amazing amount of roots. It's ready to be repotted. As you can see from the buds, they are starting to open. You can see some of the green peeking out already. This is about the limit that I feel comfortable regarding the repotting of a tree. And as per Mirai methodology, I am attacking first the regions of greatest limitation for the planting angle that I want, which is with this dead wood section peeking out of the pot at the bottom. You will see in a moment. And I'm leaving a section untouched, and I'm not bare rooting it. So the core is untouched. There are some very long roots that I will then decide how and when to cut them, but they will be cut later on, as you will see. Now, this is more or less the planting angle, as you can see. I apologize for not being in the center of the image. And now we'll start looking at pots. This black pot is a Philippe Torcatis French potter pot. It's quite nice, good shape. I like the profile of the lip moving in, and that's one possibility. So as you can see, I want that lower branch on the right to be peeking out of the pot. For a round pot, it's interesting to have uh, the tree breaking out of the profile of the pot, so either with the apex or some defining branch to break the symmetry. This beige pot is also a Philippe Torcatis. In addition to the difference in color and slight difference of the appearance of the surface, it's also a straight profile of the side of the pot, and it's a little bit shallower and smaller. This next pot is also Philippe Torcatis, considerably smaller. It works a lot better with the uh, size of the trunk to maximize the power, the relative size, but it's way too small for the root system, considering that I want to um, reduce the roots that are now above ground in the future. Uh, in this case, it would be hard to maintain the health of the tree. Now, as you can see, this tree, most of the roots for the upper trunk are above ground, and a lot of the roots that are where the pot is now are actually connected to the lower branch that has only a little bit of a live vein and a long dead branch. So although I really like this spot, I will not be choosing it. However, I'm really trying hard at this moment to think if I could make it work, because that really maximizes the scale, the relative scale of the thickness of the trunk with respect to the pot. However, it's not gonna happen. I'm even trying other angles here to make sure that I could maximize the use of the sections of the root that I'm more interested in keeping. But yeah, no matter how much I try, it's not gonna happen. This is a beautiful pot, also from Philippe Torcatis, but way too small. Considering also how water loving the larch is, this would be horticulturally too difficult to keep the tree healthy and properly um, moist when I'm at work. I am continuing to explore which pot gives the best aesthetics, and I'm tending towards the black one, but I'm going back and revisiting the others as well, and taking a look also at um, the actual angle, so rotating the tree a little bit, tilting the tree a little bit, front or back, and even upside down, um, to make sure that this is the right uh, pot. I think what makes the black pot win is the slightly round profile of of the pot, and because it works with the lines in the trunk more than a straight profile in this case. Between the color, I think the color is perhaps too dark, but I think it's an interesting aesthetics, and and it it works well with the bright green of of the foliage, although the trunk is kind of dark. So now I mark the front in the pot, and I'm starting to define strategies for the repot. So for the tie down. So as you can see, I use chalk to mark on each hole, wire hole, where a wire will go. I'm using 17 gauge galvanized steel wire, and I'm measuring exactly where the wire needs to be bent, so there is absolutely no um, slack in the wire under the pot. So when I pull to tie it in the tree, I'm not working against the resistance of the wire on the ceramic at the bottom of the pot. As you can see, the tree is not dying. I'm taking my time to prepare everything, to consider which pot to use. This operation of repotting a tree is the most important operation that you can perform on a bonsai. So there is no need to be rushing or in a hurry or afraid that you're killing the tree. It's better to be methodical and do things properly once than having problems in the future. Here the pot is almost ready, and with the wire, and we will now proceed with the repot. This being deciduous conifer, I'm using a mixture which is 3 parts shabazai, 1 part diatomaceous earth, and 1 part pumice. The shabazai makes up for the akadama, which I don't use. I don't know if it has the same scaling properties that akadama has, according to Ryan Neal, but this is the product that we have here. It has large CEC and water retention. So does the diatomaceous earth, um, that has a large water retention and CEC, and the pumice has a large water retention but very low CEC. Now I'm putting bamboo stakes into the root system that will serve as the as the anchoring points. And as you can see, I used two props on the root system to prevent it from moving in other directions. And you can see there on the right. Now I'm twisting and cutting the final bit of the tie wire to give it a little more extra tension, and then to fold the edge down. The tree is now fully secure, and now I will use some galvanized steel wire staples to hold down some of the roots. This uh, is not impacting the placement of substrate between roots, so I will be making a pancake on it. It's just holding the base on the top, um, to to lower the profile of those roots. Those roots in the future will either be cut or become exposed as they thicken. This is a decision that I'll take in the future, but for today's repot, I did not feel comfortable removing so many roots on that area, which is the main, uh, that are feeding the main trunk. Um, so now I'm starting to place my substrate and chopstick it in between and around and under the roots carefully. And you can see there the prop that is holding the lower uh, spilling branch, and that prop also helps it stay not touching the edge of the pot. At this moment I'm using sphagnum moss, long fiber sphagnum moss from New Zealand, and I will be creating a sphagnum moss wall to um, keep moisture in in that area of the root system. Just like in an air layer, the roots will be perfectly happy with the sphagnum moss. I'm actually inserting the sphagnum moss in between the roots, so it's becoming really very solid sphagnum moss wall. I'm not simply placing sphagnum moss on top. I'm actually uh, inserting it into the root system so it gets really tightly connected. I'm going all around and using the chopstick to really insert it and mold the the profile of the root system. I don't like very much the mounding there, but it's necessary at this time. And as I mentioned before, it will either be removed and roots will be cut, or roots will be exposed in that area. So this is the tree at the end of that repot. I'm still not certain which side should be the front, either this one or the other side that we're coming to right now, somewhere here, as you can see the chalk mark. This is the tree now 2 weeks later with top dressing placed. The top dressing is purely green moss chopped, grated and applied, so not dried and not mixed with sphagnum moss. And as you can see, the tree is growing well, so the timing for the repot is okay. And that's it for now. I hope you join me in the future when we style this tree. Please send me your comments with your preferred front. And stay safe, do bonsai, be kind, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.